Hi friends, welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Tuesday, August 1st, where I haven't had lunch or breakfast today, so we're doing banana and peanut butter. It's an amazing recipe. It's banana and peanut butter. That's the whole thing. Sometimes I put banana and peanut butter on a rice cake. That's yum too. And sometimes you drizzle a little chocolate over it. Really, really good. That's not what we're talking about today. What's up to everybody joining the show live right now? Shout out to Jake, Bill, Steve, Jeremy, Sam, Mike, Scott, Spidey, Andrew, all of the people. I want to let everybody know a couple of things at the top of the show. Like I said, most importantly, thank you for joining me. Also, I've revamped my Patreon. It's been too long. And with the strikes right now, with me losing out on so much work, and with me wanting to build this community more now than ever, although I've always wanted to build it, and we have, because you guys are the shit. What's up, Melissa? What's up, Stormy? What's up, Brittany? What is up, party people? I am pushing a lot of stuff over to Patreon. Still going to be doing Live with the Roxy here, but go check it out. I started a new Discord. I'm going to be in there a day. I'm going to be doing weekly AMAs. I'm going to be posting pictures, like I did all my headshots, so I wanted advice on that. I'm going to be doing recipes. I'm going to be doing little vlogs. This is an idea that came from you guys, where I'm starting to film as I go throughout my days, and I'm going to try to put out a weekly vlog of some of my experiences behind the scenes with my fam, all that stuff. And then I'm also going to just be talking more there about my personal life. Here, I'm talking more about what's going on with the strikes, what's going on with different things going on in the world, aliens, and there, a couple big things happened in my life in the last couple of days. And I'm going to share that more there. So after I'm live today, actually for the $10 tier, I'm going to go hop over and do maybe 20 minutes over on Patreon, maybe 30 minutes, and do that with the $10 and up tiers over there if you guys want to join for that and you want to hear more about what's going on in my life. And a couple weirdo things, and then any AMAs that you guys want there. Over here, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, super chat in. Let me know what's going on with you guys. Melissa said, I love vlogs. Love that, babe. Love that. Appreciate you. Okay. Let's get into it. I want to mostly talk about Steve and Amell today because he said some shit that people were like, skirt, what? You don't believe in striking? And then he put out a post clarifying, which actually didn't fully clarify for me, but we will talk about that. I'm also going to talk about a crazy ass story that happened to me yesterday. And I can go more in depth on that on Patreon, but I'll give you guys a brief overview here. And then also yesterday, doesn't it seem like when the world takes one celeb, they take two, sometimes three? I couldn't believe that Paul Rubens and Angus Cloud yesterday, like one after the other. I heard about both their deaths and was just like two different ends of the spectrum, two different reasons why. Just fucking gutting. So fucking sad. So all that and more. Thank you for being here. How many times can I thank you guys? Let's see. I think I've probably done it 6 so far. Maybe 1,000. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So high notes that I excel in. Really, really strong. Really, really powerful. Yesterday, after I was done with, or 2 days ago when I was done with the show, Bobby Jackson in the Streamlabs, thank you, Bobby, said, hey, Roxy, so I've been using Spoutable for my news. It's pretty much Twitter without the toxicity. Wow, I don't know Spoutable, but not a lot of people on there yet, myself included. I did hear verified people can transfer their status if they move over, which seems cool. Verify people from where? Because I was verified on Twitter, but then Elon took all that away. Damn you, Elon. Appreciate you, Bobby, and thanks for letting us know. Is anybody here on Spoutable? Is that how you say it? Spoutible. Spoutable. Could be. Great comments by Sensei. Stephen Amell, you failed the SAG members. I don't know about that, but let's talk about it. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. This, I'm going to take for this. This is what the article, I'm going to tell you what had come out, and then I'm going to tell you guys what it was that he had posted. So afterwards, trying to clarify what was said, I do think that Hollywood Reporter tends to do a very good job on these interviews. I mean, on these news stories and with their videos of these. So I pulled a couple screenshots from this so that you guys could see a little bit about what he had said, and then we will go through his Instagram refuting his words. Refuting? Good. So, okay. He said, I feel like I'm insulated in Hollywood because that's where I live. I feel like a lot of people in this room aren't aware of the strike. I support my union, I do, and I stand with them, but I do not support striking. I don't. And he said, I think that it is a reductive negotiation tactic, and I find the entire thing incredibly frustrating. Okay, so that is what people were kind of like perturbed about, annoyed with. This is what then he took to Twitter and said. So he posted a square on Twitter that says, please read below, as I thought it was important to clarify comments I made this weekend. This is what the caption reads. Understandably, there has been a lot of reaction to the comments I made this weekend about our strike. To ensure there is no misunderstanding about my thoughts and intentions, I'm providing what I actually said and clarity and context to ensure my feelings aren't unintentionally misinterpreted. We all know sound bites can be taken out of context, and I have too much respect for my fellow union members to not clarify the record. What I actually said, number one, I support my union, I do, I stand with them. This doesn't need much clarity. My support is unconditional, and I stand with them. What I actually said, number two, I do not support striking, I don't. What this means in full context, I understand fundamentally why we're here. My off-the-cuff use of the word support is clearly contradictory to my true feelings and my emphatic statement that I stand with my union. Of course, I don't like striking. Nobody does, but we have to do what we have to do. All right, let's just break that part down for a second. You know how sometimes when somebody says, I love you, and they mean I love you, but what you believe love and they believe love to mean are two different things. When he says, I support my union, and he says, I do not support striking, I don't know that the word support means to me what it means to him. Because I don't know that you can support your union inherently and not support striking. I believe that he believes he supports the union. I believe that. I just don't know that I have the same interpretation of the word support that he does. But let's continue. What I said, number three, I think that it is a reductive negotiation tactic, and I find the entire thing incredibly frustrating. End quote. In full context, I'm an actor, and I was speaking extemporaneously for over an hour. I emote, but I certainly don't think these issues are simple. Our leadership has an incredibly complicated job, and I'm grateful for all that they do. Despite some of my terrible early acting work, I assure you I'm not a robot. That's funny. From an intellectual perspective, I understand why we are striking, but that doesn't mean it isn't emotionally frustrating on many levels for all involved. Then we'll get to the next part. Let's pause for a second. I am sympathetic to the fact that when you are an actor and you are speaking for over an hour, Sometimes you do say shit you don't mean. I'm also sympathetic to the fact that as an actor, this is frustrating. Striking is fucking frustrating. It's frustrating, as you guys know. Um, as you guys know, I shot a movie that I could not have been more excited about. And clearly this strike has affected that. Because I cannot talk about it or I'm not talking about it because SAG rules are still a little unclear. And I just I'm supposed to be filming 2 more projects that both have been pushed. And I feel like I'm on the precipice of something right now, and I'm finally have some heat and gaining momentum. I've talked to you guys about all this. And for anybody who is going to be with the Patreon stream, I will get way more into this. There's certain shit that I don't want to say publicly, but we'll talk to the patrons about. But I get it. Stephen Amell saying, I'm frustrated. Yeah, for sure, dude. I'm with every actor is frustrated right now. This is a very frustrating time. If you are a working actor, this time is unbelievably frustrating because you're not working. And that's financially devastating. It's emotionally gutting. Who are you if you have believed you are what you do? Now I'm speaking for not Stephen Amell, but others. It's very challenging. So absolutely, uh, absolutely, this is a trying time, and I stand with him on that part. But I would not personally say something like, I do not support striking. He's allowed to say freedom of speech. He's allowed to say what he would like. Okay. Then he said what I said, number 4. I think that thinking as it pertains to shows like the show that I'm on that premiered last night, I think is myopic. What I meant. Nothing about the strike is funny, but if I may self-deprecate for a moment, I have no clue what I was trying to say here, and who says I think that thinking. Perhaps it was an inarticulate shout out to our crew and cast who mean the world to me. I'm simply sad that we don't have a chance to celebrate a show that all of us figuratively and I literally broke my back for. As I said from the jump, I want to ensure that my thoughts and intentions are not misconstrued. The situation reminds of the proverb, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, which apparently, after reading a limited amount of commentary, is a place many of you would like me to visit. However, at least for the foreseeable future, I choose to stand with my union. When you see me on a picket line, please don't whip any hard fruit. Steven. I'll give him this also. He's funny. Like calling his acting robotic in the beginning, which I don't remember it ever being that. I've always thought he was good, but that was funny. Saying don't whip fruit at my head. That's funny. Was this the worst thing anyone in the world has ever said? Absolutely not. He's probably fucking annoyed. Part of this is probably him misspeaking. Part of this is probably him having privilege because if he doesn't work for the next 6 months, it is annoying to him. But it's not the same as other people striking right now because otherwise they literally can't afford to do this job anymore. It's different. 160,000 people in the union. I've talked to you guys about this, but different people want different things. Like he said, a lot of people tell him to go to hell. I still don't think you should do that. I think that Sarah Silverman kind of talked about this in her video. They want us, and by they, I mean the studios. They want us to turn against each other right now. That's what they want. They want the fact that Viola Davis and Sarah Silverman think that you shouldn't be taking SAG interim work, even if it's approved by SAG. The fact that Stephen Amell thinks that he stands with the union, but thinks these strikes are annoying and doesn't know if they should be happening. They want us to be inner fighting right now because all of that distracts from fuck you 10 people at the top making $1 billion. And they want that. And it's working sometimes. Let me hear your guys' thoughts. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. Let me know. Shout out to Simp Stryer. Yes, Simp Stryer who said Team Stryer. Love to hear it. Our first and only super chat of the day. Hell yeah, Simp. Appreciate you, Lloyd, my dude. And to everybody else, make sure you send them in loud, send them in proud. I appreciate you. Do you think that Stephen Amell misspoke? Do you think that he spoke perfectly well and his clarification didn't actually clarify anything? And the fourth part, I don't even know what I was trying to say here. At least it was honest. All in the game says, or a PR person wrote it, Roxy. I think there was almost zero way that a PR person wrote that. There was a ton of grammatical errors in it. He repeated words a couple of times. He made jokes. And he didn't really clarify. So I don't think a PR person wrote that. I think he wrote that, which respect. I think this is how he feels. And honestly, it's not how I feel, but that's okay. I don't hope he goes anywhere. I hope that we all band together and beat the fucking man. Not him. The big execs. All right. Okay, now rock stars. Yeah. Couple other things. This is a wild story that I want to tell you guys about. Yesterday, this was fucking insane. So I sit and do work in Malibu sometimes because, number one, it's nice. I live in Los Angeles, cooped up like this in my apartment all the time. And I had to do a lot of emails. I was redoing my whole Patreon. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be doing a lot of work on the computer. I might as well be looking at the water. So I'm sitting in Malibu and I'm doing work on the computer and I keep hearing all these sirens. I'm like, what's happening in Malibu? Usually there's not shit there. So I asked one of the waitresses, I said, what's going on? And she told me, and then I Googled it to confirm, that on the beach right there, like where I was, by the Malibu Pier, that somebody saw a barrel on the sand and just opened the barrel and there was a dead fucking body in there. I don't mean to sound, I was shocked. Like, this is not the kind of shit that you hear about in Malibu. So they open the barrel and it is a dead man in the barrel. It's like, I wouldn't even know what to do with the next steps. I mean, just fucking crazy. So then the old mayor of Malibu said that he was driving by the night before and he saw the barrel and kind of floating in the water, bobbing, and then came back out. But he thought that it was a toxic waste barrel. Which again, like if you think you see a toxic waste barrel by the water, should you let it just continue to bob? I don't really know how that works. But yeah, fucking crazy. Like it's a 55-gallon barrel. And imagine just being on the beach and walking by and just opening something and finding a dead body. It was at Malibu Lagoon State Beach. And it's just fucking freaky. So I was looking into it like crazy. All right, this is what CBS News said. Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies responded to a reported dead body found inside a 55-gallon drum on the beach in Malibu Lagoon State Beach Monday morning. A beachgoer reportedly found the drum floating near the shore at 10:30 a.m. near the 23,200 block of Pacific Coast Highway, according to the Sheriff's Department. Lifeguards pulled the barrel ashore and opened it to find the unclothed body of a black male inside. Paramedics pronounced the unidentified person dead at the scene. No further details about the body were released immediately. It was unclear how long the container and the body had been in the water, but obviously to me, and I don't know what actually happened, but if you could see that this was a man in the barrel, it feels like it couldn't have been in there that long, right? Because wouldn't there have been more deterioration for you to not know man, woman? I don't know what I'm talking about, but no cause of death was immediately determined, but a homicide investigation remains in progress. Because of the massive amount of law enforcement officials investigating the incident, beachgoers were told to leave the area for most of Monday. Yeah, so I wasn't able to go down. I just stayed looking at the water. And then it was like so distracting. Obviously, this isn't fucking about me, but I was just like, how many barrels are in the water with humans in them? Just just floating in the ocean. I mean, just how effing scary is that concept? That there could just be when we're, and how sad. I hope they figure out who this person is so at least his family or loved ones can have some peace knowing what happened. Not that what happened is peaceful, but just I'm sure they're looking for him. And I hope that whoever did this gets caught because what the fuck? And in fucking Malibu, like, but then again, I don't know that it happened in Malibu. That's where the body floated up. Ugh. I was so freaked out. And I was working on stuff and I just kept looking into the water thinking, like, how many missing people are in there and how many people's loved ones are in there? And this ocean is so big. And I would have thought that a barrel would float, but a body would sink. Yeah, Bruce says, I wonder what happened because that's messed up. I know. Andrew says it could have been done decades ago. I don't feel like it could have been done decades ago. Otherwise, how would you be able to recognize this as a body and why would it be floating? Although could be. It was right when I was there and I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's freaky deaky. All right, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. Where are you guys at? Show that support. We are here on this August 1st, first day of August. We are officially out of July, my favorite month of the year. But we're still in Leo season, so we still got them good people. You guys know Leos are my favorite. Grammy, Papa, Sky, Dorina, Ashley, all Leos. So much love for all of them. Okay. All that, yes. Also, speaking of unfortunate deaths, I was sitting there reading about the body when I learned about both Pee-wee or Paul Rubens and Angus Cloud. It is very few people in life who are so synonymous with a character that, like, so many people think that his name is Pee-wee Herman. I mean, people called a lot of articles I saw were like the death of Pee-wee Herman. What a sad story with him too, but the fact that he was suffering through cancer at the end, just like he brought so much enjoyment to so many people's lives. It was so sad. And then the opposite end of it, well, somebody else who brought enjoyment to people's lives, but like, did you ever just are so shocked that somebody's not on a planet? Hearing about Angus Cloud, and I was with a couple people, and they're like, "Oh, an actor named Angus Cloud died," and I was like, "I obviously know who that is." Zendaya put out a really nice post today, and apparently his dad died 2 weeks ago. You just think about that, and it's just like, oh God, this is why to anybody out there, the lesson being, you're not going to be perfect during those time periods after you lose somebody, but you don't want to do anything irreversible because yes, during that time, you might have one too many drinks. And yes, during that time, you might yell at somebody. And, there are certain things that you're feeling out of control that are understanding, but you just can't end up taking yourself out of the game because life does move forward and people do find a way to move forward. And to be 25 years old and lose your dad and then 2 weeks later be gone, you just had a whole fucking life. And so fucking sad. And this is obviously a massive, massive generalization, but people are speaking about his mental health right now. And this is an area that I do think is much more challenging for men than women. I'm not saying that it's not challenging for women. I've struggled with my mental health my whole life. But I do feel like our society puts a stigma on men struggling with their mental health more than women. Again, generalization, of course. But growing up, me and my girlfriends were taught to talk about our feelings. And we were taught to talk to each other. We did talk to each other. Having a therapist, none of my girlfriends ever gave me heat on that. I know that it's different for guys. I know that it's challenging to be a guy and open up to. I've had many of my guy friends open up to me and they say, I can't talk to my guy friends about this stuff. And that's fucking shit. That's fucking shit. And I just think our society really has to get better at working on some of these things, especially for um, things like in the mental health field with men, with people of color, with anybody who feels like there is that stigma or they'll be looked down upon or won't be granted the help because it's like too embarrassing to ask or whatever. It's not embarrassing to ask. It is the right thing to do. And you might save your own life. Oh God, thinking about him, just 25, man. He was probably just in so much fucking pain and didn't see a world in which he wouldn't be in that much pain ever again. But the truth is he would have figured out a way to not be. Everybody does at some point, as long as you keep yourself here. Mike Joyce in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, happy first Thursday of August. Can't believe it's already August. Feels like the year is flying by. I am with you. It is zipping. Although also time is moving super slow with all these projects being canceled but yeah, it's crazy. That is August. That is wild. I am going to get out of here soon. I am going to move over to my Patreon for the $10 and up tier. If you guys not a patron already, please consider signing up. It is the first of the month. I would love to have you. We're doing a lot of really cool stuff over there. Patreon.com/Roxy Stryer. And just continuing to build the Rockstars community. I appreciate you guys so much for being here and taking any last minute comments, questions about any of the stuff we talked about. Those Stephen Amell comments in the comments here. Leave me what you thought about what he said. Did it help clarify? Did it not really? Leave love about Paul Rubens and Angus Cloud. And how crazy. I'm going to keep you guys posted if there's any news on the Malibu dead body. That was just wild. Sometimes you feel like you're in the middle of a movie. I'm like in the middle of a crime scene. It's like, what is that song? And the days go by. It's like, and you ask yourself, how did I get here? And again, not fucking about me, but just like, whoa, crazy shit's happening in the world. All right, my loves, come join me over on Patreon. If you leave a Streamlabs here after the fact, I will read it on my next show. And thank you to anybody who is doing so. Other than that, stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat lid. We don't want those plumes. Don't trample the Holocaust. Justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice, wherever you're on the rainbow, we love you. We stand with the women of Iran, some of the bravest women we've ever seen. Golden sparkles for Zen, one himself, Glenn Caesar. We're thinking about you. I hope you're doing okay, my dude. And we stand with the unions. We support them and also support striking. Okay. I'll see you guys over on Patreon later.